Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? Oh, here's my cat. Hey, cat. Hey. Yeah, yep, I know. I know, kitty. I know. Oh, Jesus. So what's the word? What is the word? Everybody connected? Twitch is up. Kick is up. YouTube is up. Good morning, YouTube.
Hello?
I see you guys over there. How are you? What are we doing today? Today we're preparing for a soccer game. So I gotta prepare some gear and I gotta do a little bit of YouTube research. Going back to YouTube University today. The game is at 1 o'clock my time. I actually need to confirm that it's still happening. So right now we're just gonna clear some SD cards as we go to YouTube University. I'm just gonna be looking up soccer photography just to get some inspiration, take some notes, and get a game plan going. So that's pretty much it. So let's see. Let's move some SD, transfer some files. Good morning. Kitty's fucking shit. Damn it, Kitty. Thanks for helping with the. What'd you decide on? What did you decide on? Was that Kitty that knocked that over? It had to have been, right? Oh, maybe it wasn't Kitty. Oh, weird. I got the sniffles, guys. All right, so let's go to Creative Y. Bless you. Thank you. Did the 24 to 70 Sigma? Yes, 24 to Sigma solid, dude. What camera are you using? You got that for vlogging? That's a big lens. Control shift. Today 04. Brother. What the fuck is that? My voice mod thing changed up on me. How do I deactivate voice mods? Soundboards. Is there a way that I could just deactivate keybinds? I got my first paid gig today as an accident. Brought my camera and lenses to photography. Nice. All right, so I need to get rid of those keybinds because that's kind of annoying. Voice Lab extension settings. Keybinds. Exit and exit. All right, cool. Then the groups of footballers saw me and asked if I can shoot them. There you go, man. That's all it takes, bro. Is the Canon R50V good? Yeah, man. Canon R50V is real good. Is it the best camera in the world? No, but it'll probably be good for you. For sure. I'm just transferring files over right now, guys, making sure that this gets done while I have some time here. I'm clearing off some memory cards because I'm going to take a couple of memory cards with me, and I want them to be formatted before we go. It's not till way later anyways, but that's okay. Now we're going to go to YouTube and look up some soccer videos. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to buy a Canon C400. Is it any good? That's a proper cinema camera. I don't know how old it is. What do I shoot with? I shoot with mostly Canon. Let's see. Soccer photography. How to shoot soccer. Let's see if we can add some filters to this year. Let's see. Photographer, stop doing this at football matches. 10 minutes. I tried football's hardest job for 24 hours. Sports photographer. This one looks pretty cool. This one has 250,000 views. 4K views. So yeah, let's watch this guy.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let me know if this is too loud. Jason, what's up, Jason? What style of shooting do? I do all kinds. I work full time as a content creator for a firm, for a business, like business corporate kind of shooting. But today I got asked to do some photography for a soccer game. So right now I'm just preparing this morning for getting some SD cards ready, getting some batteries charged, you know, the basics. And now we're going to look at some YouTube videos on soccer photography and see if I can pick up any tips and tricks, you know. I'll be going live during this photo shoot, so for any of you guys that aren't following, consider doing so.
I was bricking it. To try it, you need gear worth up to £50,000.
That checks
Years
out.
of practice.
The trickiest thing is you can do everything right yourself and you can get nothing.
And the ability to handle pressure when the whole stadium is watching.
But I look
Antonio,
back
what
and
up,
think,
Antonio?
How did I not melt down from the pressure?
Everyone wants your job. I'm actually pretty nervous. I wasn't expecting to. I've loved football since I was a young
Over
kid.
the pond though,
I've
across
only
the
ever
pond,
seen it as a
soccer's
fan.
different.
But today, I've been given exclusive access to shoot a UEFA Champions League game for one of the biggest football clubs in the world, Manchester City, to see firsthand how hard it is to be a football photographer.
Creators behind the
This
content.
is
with
Creators
Adobe.
Behind the Content, in collaboration with Adobe.
I'm going behind the scenes to meet creators at the heart of some of the biggest industries out there to see what it takes to capture it.
We're going to have exclusive access to see what they see through their lens.
Through their lens. All right. I'm pumped. Let's go.
We have just arrived at the Etihad. It's game day. This is the home of Manchester City. Let's head inside and meet Tom.
Manchester City.
Morning, Mike. How are you, bud? You okay? Good to see you. Welcome.
This is it.
Here we are. Here we are.
I didn't realise it literally is just gonna pop straight out, basically. We've only just arrived, but I'm already eyeing up some of the shots I want to try and get.
So the dream from the corner flag would be
Are they using a camera mix attachment? Mic attachment or body mics? These guys? These guys probably
capture
have
a
mics
goal
on their body.
celebration. Super clean shot. That would be the dream. Also got a 400mm lens, so I'm really excited
Yeah, there's mics. These guys always have mics on them. These mics are just super easy to
use that.
super easy
Hopefully
to
get some
use,
action
so-
shots of the guys. And then I'm really excited to bring that into Photoshop, add some motion blur, and bring in that action into the photography.
On the other side is like the loud stand. You'll experience that. The away fans of Champions League are crazy loud.
I've been invited here to shoot alongside Tom on a match day during Manchester City's game against Napoli tonight in the UEFA Champions League.
Is the R50 good for football photography? It's all right. Yeah, the R50 is a cheap camera. When using a cam like the FX30 for photos, what recommendations do you have to get the most out of it? Just use it, man. Just shoot with it. Just practice. Yeah, built-in mics are trash.
If you don't know much about football, let me explain how big of a deal this is. Man City are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they recently completed the legendary treble, winning the League, Domestic Cup, and the Champions League. Only the second English club ever to achieve it. When they won, Tom was the
That
only
girl Cole, what's
photographer
up?
allowed on
That
the
girl
pitch to
Cole.
capture it. But more on that later. The Champions League is the best of the best. All of the top teams in Europe battle it out to be crowned the ultimate champions. These nights aren't just another game, they're history. And the pressure on Tom to get...
Do you think I'm doing too much getting a Sony FX3 for... Nah, bro. If you can afford it, man, get it. Yeah, if you can afford it. I'm about to hire a full-time... Yeah, if you can hire it in-house, dude, that's great, man. As long as that's his, the video guy, he could probably take care of social media as well, But companies that hire, that's literally what I do for a law firm. I'm the in-house content creator. So like I do all their photos, I do all their videos, I do all their interviews, I do all their everything, all their I do the what's it called? The marketing material. I create all the marketing material. So businesses that can afford that, man, they're gonna have a leg up because you don't have to pay crazy amounts of money for a what's it called? A an agency to come in and do that for you. I'm looking at a 12 by 12 light box on Amazon. Do you have any experience with them? If so, 12 by 12 light box, like 12 feet or 12 inches? After my R50, would you say I should get the R10 after? Probably the R7. Probably go for the R7. Good morning, kitty. All right, come on. Come on. I know you want to sit on my lap. But you don't like this chair, so inches, 12 inches by 12 inches. Not really much advice to give you, man. Just mess around with it, see where you can figure I can use it. Yeah, use it for. You need a lot of bounces for product photography, so make sure that you have. And bounces are pretty cheap. Like you can get some card stock from the dollar store. You need something to clamp it onto, but bounces are really important in product photography. Is the video guy a video guy? Like, does he already know what he's doing, or is he just Yeah. So that would be the best investment because either the FX3 or the A7 V. Truthfully, depending on, I would ask him. Is he like is he an expert? Because is he a Sony guy? I would talk to him. Is he actually a videographer? Like you're hiring him in house, or is he just a guy that has a pulse? What's your kitty's name? This one is her name is Luna, Miss Luna. Man, do you think people pose cameras as a content creator camera that can make them? Man, do you think when people pose cameras as a content creator camera that it can make it seem like they're not capable of doing great work? No, I do not think that. I do not think that. Not really. He's not a professional. I will teach him. Well, if you know about cameras, then you should know. If he doesn't know anything about cameras and you're asking him to operate an FX3, that's kind of a big ask. It's kind of a big ask. I might go with the A7 V because it does great video, unless you really need the built-in fan and the low light of the FX3. It's a big ask to ask somebody that doesn't know how to operate a camera to operate an FX3. But if you can get used to it and you trust them, but I wouldn't be hiring a guy as a videographer if he's not a videographer. That's where I think you're doing too much. If you know, if you can hire somebody that knows how to handle a camera, then I would be comfortable with an FX3. I don't think you're doing too much in the camera. I think you're doing too much in the hiring just a guy with a pulse. You know what I mean? Like I get paid a great salary to work at this law firm, but I have a background with cameras, lighting, photography, videography, content creation, social media, marketing, copywriting, and a couple of other things that are unnamed, right? Just editing, I know how to edit. Um, all of these things. So they hired me because I have under my name and under my resume, I have all of these skills, right? And like if for example, I came with my own kit, if I didn't come with my own kit, they would have deferred to me as the expert for what camera I should be using. No, I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is like you're probably you pay you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. And like a videographer is gonna cost a lot more than $25, but I would probably hire a student. I'd probably pose the what the fuck was that? Did that load? I would hire a student. Skip. Hire a student to so, like an intern. I'm trying to move over all these files. I'm not sure what happened. I get it because it's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. But if you hire just somebody with a pulse and he doesn't know what's going on, you might not be happy with the results. But it's your business. It's your business. It's definitely good to have some. You're thinking along the correct lines though of hiring somebody to come in and do all your stuff. So that's like, kudos for that. Some businesses don't even make it that far. You know what I mean? How do I find them? Where are you? Are you in the United States? You can find them just by hiring anybody else, putting out an ad, putting out some content. It's like, hey, if you're a beginner videographer in the local area and are looking for an opportunity, we're hiring an in-house content creator. I would label it as a content creator because a videographer is going to respond. It's like, no, bro, I'm a videographer. And then he's going to want the 30, 40, $50 an hour type of gig. But if you look for somebody that's a content creator, he might be willing to do 20 bucks an hour. But then you're also going to get somebody that can live off of $20 an hour USD. You know what I mean? I need a drone. You don't need a drone, Antonio. You need to get to work, bro. You need to start creating stuff. CJ's hamster, what's up, buddy? Is this working or not? It is working. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're definitely thinking around the.
The shot couldn't be any higher.
Vic, you're brutally honest, and I love it. I'm not here to give out any third place trophies, man. It's a dog eat dog world.
Like, to give an example, Nunes scored in the last minute against Villa last season, and I would have been here, and he literally hits here.
You guys ever hear of GAS? GAS? Who knows what that stands for? GAS. Did that work? Did I copy everything over? Let's see. First file name. Full frame. Is that different compared to APS-C? Yeah, it's pretty different. Godox V1 for the Canon R10. Does the Canon R10... I don't have it in front of me. Does the Canon R10 have a digital hot shoe or does it have a regular hot shoe? I have an R10, but I don't have it in front of me right now, and I don't want to get up. Brewman, what's up, man? Good morning. 31 WQ can got it. All right, so that's there. And the first one is, yeah, so everything transferred over. Okay, cool. Looks like we got it. Okay, so that's there. So now let's format this. Man, formatting cards is always so nerve-wracking. You guys ever get that? Gear acquisitions, exactly. Sushi trash. Yeah, Antonio is about to get a case of gas, GAS, gear acquisition syndrome. Be careful of gas, man, because that shit's gonna get you. I fear formatting too early. Same here. You know what I fear? Sometimes I fear that the transfer is still in progress or that I haven't copied it over. And then what happens as a result, that girl Cole, what happens as a result is I have 3 or 4 copies in a folder randomly on my computer of the exact same thing. I do that way too often. Because most of my projects aren't like paid projects. So I don't like take the time to really ensure that everything's done properly. They're just like SD cards that I was just goofing around and like videoing of my cats and stuff like that, you know? Okay, so this is good. So let us format. Is this the right card? Format this card. Format. Yes, go. By the way, guys, the cameras that I'm using today are the R5 Mark II. I'll show you here in 1 second. Start. It will erase all the data. There's that dreaded sound, guys. Yes. Kitty, and you walking on my keyboard is gonna freak me out, Kitty. I'm kicking you out here in a second if you don't behave. Format complete. Okay. Got it. Cool. Close. All right. Let's eject this. And then this is a formatted card, you guys. You guys are my witnesses. This is a formatted card. The Insta360. Yeah, the R5 Mark II, the R7 as well. Regular hot shoe. Okay, cool, cool, cool. What do you recommend for photo and video camera to go alongside the R50V? That is full frame. Probably the R8 if you have the budget, the R8. If you have more, the R6 Mark II. What's up, Tay? How are you? I'm not gonna get gas. You about to get gas talking about drones and shit. What's up, man? I want to get a camera to get mainly for video and second photos. I want to record in low light. I want to take Tarper zoomed pictures, birds and landscapes. I have a Canon 700D. Anything modern, anything much more modern will do, Clonos. How did your shoot go yesterday? I didn't have a shoot yesterday. It's today. Today I have a soccer game. Why don't you make more long form? I do. I'm planning to make a lot more long form content. But most of my content on YouTube is long form. I have a lot of videos in long form already. I haven't posted in a while, I'll admit that. I have a video edited, but I am going to create more. Also, I've been focusing on lives. I've been going live every day for like 40 days now. I need to do more lives. Yeah, whenever you're doing live, send them my way. I'd love to pop in and show support, you know. All right, next SD card. So we're clearing 3 SD cards today. I'm also going to take my Insta360 X5 today, and I'm going to see if the mic works. So cuz I'm going to be creating content. Oh, actually this shoot right here, I'm going to be shooting with my Insta360 to see if I can pull a video from it. Cuz I'm going to be comparing the R5 Mark II to the R7. And I'm going to be using the R7 because the R7 Mark II is rumored to come out. So that'll be pretty good too. Okay, let's see. Content CRM, nothing here. DCIM. Okay, let's move all this over. Boom. Oh, that's a quick one. Anything in this folder? Anything in this folder? Real? Here we go. This is the folder. Some gigabytes. All right, cool. Clonos, thanks for the advice, man. Yeah, anything modern, and depending on your budget, Clonos. But anything modern is going to do what you need. I mean, you'd be surprised, man. People that are still using DSLRs, because they're still great cameras, but as soon as they move over to a mirrorless camera with like modern technology, at least within the last 5 years, they're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? They're like really taken aback. Yeah, the R10 and the R50V, even the R50 is good too. But if you want to do photos, you know, the R50V doesn't have a viewfinder.
So if I'm here, it's like, oh my God, perfect. But because I'm here, the background's real short to me, so it doesn't knock out.
So much more to it than just sitting there and taking a photo as a player comes towards you, because you have to think about the background.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay. Okay, so think about the background. Got it. Yeah, because that's pretty obvious. You know, that's pretty obvious. Some of these things, like, you know, are good to reinforce. I've never been to this field where we're gonna be playing. Where the kids are gonna be playing, so I'll have to keep that in mind. So I'll get there early. The game is at 1:30. I need to double check if it's still even happening. I've started YouTube more towards camera gear. Would you have any main tips or tricks to get my videos more attention? I believe I film and edit quite well, just don't know how to get found. Oh, let me check out your channel, bro. Go Creative Dude, is that you? Check it out, bro. Go to channel. We'll look at it together. 730 subscribers. Not bad, bro. How long you been doing it, man? Let's see. Let's check out your videos. 3 views, 10 views, life overhaul. Okay, so nobody's gonna care about that video. I spent 13 years creating. This is what I learned. That's a good long tail. How to get paid to travel. That one's gonna be good too. That's a year ago. It looks like you just started again. This one is gonna do well. When you started this channel, how long ago did you start this channel? And have you always been talking about camera gear, like you didn't deviate from that? 6 years ago, 7 years ago, photography trailer. So yeah, you need more content, bro. You need more content. And talk about specific products. So like this one right here, desk clamps versus tripods, the results shocked me. Nobody's actually going to be looking for that. What people are going to be looking for is the specific. People are going to be looking for this video, but they're not going to be looking for this video the way that you packaged it. People are going to be looking for this video based off of great video, by the way. They're going to be looking for it based off of one of the products that's in here. So I would name one of the products. Does that make sense? Just started back up. Yeah. So like right here, this is about desk clamps. It's about desk clamps. I would say the newer B5200 desk clamp versus this, you know, and name it that. If you go look at my channel, which my channel, I think I just crossed 4,000 subscribers. My channel, if you look at it, it's all everything, mostly for the most part, the videos that perform the best have the actual name of the product that's in here. So Canon M50, the Canon R50V, the Canon R50V, the Canon C50 small rig cage. You know, are all these videos going to blow up? No, but they'll have long tails. You know, every video has the title. The cheapest way to fix your audio, the small rig versus the DJI Mic Mini. Yeah, so just name that video, and that's, you know. Have you ever read the book The Long Tail? It's a marketing book. I recommend it to anybody that's uh into uh into marketing. It's even if you're not into marketing, if you're just into like content creation and understanding what the long tail is, it's super duper powerful. You can get this as an audio book. You could probably download it or listen to it, but it's totally worth the read. Essentially, the idea is like in the modern day and age, what's happened is like they compare a like Blockbuster, obviously it's antiquated now, but the analogy still works. Blockbuster had like 4 copies of the Terminator. They had like 3 copies of this movie and this movie. And when those were physically gone, people couldn't rent that movie anymore. Versus now, it's a digital download or it's a digital watch, it's streaming, and there are hundreds of thousands of copies, infinite amounts of copies of that movie that's able to be called up and watched on demand, right? So the way that it applies to us in long tail is that these videos, if they're packaged correctly, will live for eternity, right? And if you make a video about a product that is high quality, that lasts a long time, people are always going to be looking for it no matter what. So, yeah, just looking at your titles right there, that's probably what I would be focusing on. These videos right here, my life overhaul 2026, nobody's going to watch that. Nobody's going to watch that unless you packaged it and said, like, I started journaling with the Moleskin notebook. You know, if you have like a Moleskin notebook or journaling changed your life or whatever. But if you actually attach a product name to the title, it's going to see a little bit more success because people are going to be like, hey, I want to start journaling more. This guy's video popped up because he's journaling. You know what I mean? I'm making shit up right now, but that's kind of like the idea. That's kind of the idea. Yeah. Truthfully, right here, this one,
Okay.
nobody's going to give a shit because nobody knows you. And that's not me being rude or disrespectful. People got their own lives that they don't really care about your life overhaul unless you tied your life overhaul around something that they care about, which is either journaling, drawing, you know, and then it's also indexable. So do you know anything about web indexing and SEO? That's another thing that you could probably look up for yourself. Web indexing is a very real thing. Yeah, man, there's no third place trophies over here, man. I appreciate you coming in and asking these questions, by the way. So there's no third place trophies, bro. Like today I'm gonna be going live and also recording with an Insta360 to potentially grab a video of it. But the idea with the video for right now that I have in my mind is R7 versus Canon R5 Mark II, right? And then I have an idea for an R7 Mark 1 versus R7 Mark 2 whenever it comes out. Even though I won't own the camera physically immediately, I'm gonna post the R7 video when that camera starts to launch, to create a little bit of traction, that long tail, because people are going to be searching for R7. It's like, hey, do I really need to upgrade to the R7? Or it's like, hey, should I buy the R7 Mark II or is the R7 Mark 1 good enough? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I got for you. And look at this one. The one that you actually named with the product in it has 500 views. This one has 2K views. This one's not even really. This is a reaction video though. Reaction videos are different. Yeah, I mean, take a look at the videos that have the highest views and see if you actually did something that's that's different. I guarantee you that you did put a product in one of them. So far, that's the one that I see that had the most that was actually related to your niche. Ranking Australian foods tier list. That's kind of unrelated. Yeah, that's some things for you to consider, bud. Some things for you to consider. But more videos. Yeah, more videos.
Be tough. I think like mentally
Mm.
when it kind of all builds up to that moment. And I think it's the thing with sports, it only happens once.
Yeah.
If it happened twice, easy.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's going to happen.
That's what makes it so hard.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. Everybody.
You will keep pimping out the content. Keep on pimping, pimp. Yeah, just center your content around a product. That's something that's indexable, something that is searchable, you know?
Who's not here is watching it on TV, but checking their Instagram, checking all of that. So you want to give them the best. Yeah, on a game day.
So where I'm going to photograph this soccer game is not going to look like this, right? So keeping all that in mind.
It is crazy loud in here. Like it's amazing to shoot.
Yeah, web indexing or search engine web indexing. It's very similar to SEO, but it's so for example, web indexing. So right now on YouTube, timestamps are really popular, and it's something that I haven't fully taken advantage of because I haven't created content that's like made like that. I'm going to be using AI to kind of help me with web indexing, but essentially is what kind of language do you use when you Google something? Like when you want to Google something or you want to find out something about a camera or you want to find out like X, Y, and Z about something, right? Think about the language that you actually are in front of a keyboard or a touchpad and you type into Google. What does that language look like, right? Yeah, you want to learn something, or is like, we'll relate it to like knitting. It's like, hey, what's the best crocheting needles for sewing or whatever, like that kind of language, right? So when you type that language in or that text into the search bar of Google or YouTube, it's not going to necessarily just grab from the title, and this is where the timestamps come in, because say that somebody created a video about knitting, and for whatever reason in one of the chapters of their video they said this is my favorite or this is the best sewing needles. Google is going to serve them that portion, that 30-second portion of that video. You know what I mean? Because you titled that little segment, that timestamp, that that little that indexable search query. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at stuff and if videos have like timestamps, a lot of videos have timestamps now. They have that timestamp because of web indexing.
In such an amazing atmosphere.
All right, so we got that video or this over. So let's format this card. Formatting, man. Formatting's always scary. I think we did the photos already. We did the videos already. So are we good to format, guys? Eesh. Format. Yeah, format. Good. Warning, formatting will delete. Yes. Next thing is Insta360. This drive is in use. Okay. Do you want to format it anyways? No, I don't. Format complete. Okay, got it. Okay, close. So now this is good. Let's eject that. Eject. Always make sure to properly eject your SD cards, guys. And then once they're formatted on your PC, make sure to format them again in your PCs. Okay, eject it. So this is done, guys. We did the SD cards for this. Batteries. I need to check the batteries on these guys as well. And the R7. R7 is where? Over there. What virtual file saving site do you use, if any? Virtual saving? No, I have my own NAS system. Yeah, I have my own NAS. $256. Insta360, Control Shift N. What's today? 0412 2026. Lucky, those are expensive. Yeah, they can be expensive for sure. They're totally worth it though. To have your own NAS system. Anybody that's a creative, should work towards getting a NAS system. It's worth it. You gotta do it. It's expensive, but I'm glad that I did. And right now, it's only getting more and more expensive. So, 179 gigs. All right, not bad, not bad.
And have you got a favourite image you've taken on a match day?
Champions League final, the Haaland picture that was used for like the Netflix documentary and stuff. He's crying on the pitch after the Champions League final. I think, yeah,
the passion is right there.
There was so much emotion. I mean, I cried myself actually on that evening, but I look back and I think, how did I not like melt down from the pressure? Because this is the biggest player in the world crying on his knees in front of you, and I was the only photographer allowed on the pitch.
Let me find what you don't want one from Temu, bro. The one that I use is I have it in my Amazon store. By the way, all of the gear that I recommend, guys, for those of you guys that are new here, welcome, welcome. All the gear that I recommend is in my Amazon storefront. Links are in the bio, but I use this one right here, the 6-bay one. God, these got crazy expensive, man. And then this is just a blank box, you know, and then you have to populate it with actual hard disks and stuff. But totally worth it. Totally worth it. Up to 208 terabytes. Mine is definitely not that, but maybe one day I'll get up there. I think I have like 60 terabytes.
Things just work out, but yeah, that was
Incredible.
Just a crazy moment.
I just found this channel. Welcome, Justin with Baker. How are you? Do you just shoot with Canon? I have Sony's as well, and Fuji's as well.
Really, yeah.
First stop on the list, a trip to the
Just for the
dressing room.
box?
Amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more than a box.
Wow.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's a full-on circle.
Full-on circle. It's to do with sound and the manager being able to express himself so everybody can hear.
So Pep stands right there.
Pep stands here. Tactics board's normally here.
I should go to the goalkeeper union, really, shouldn't I?
Haaland.
See, I used to be a goalie in ice hockey, so I have a lot of respect for the goalkeeper.
Got the height for a goalkeeper.
And that's what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So when you guys won the Premier League, what was this room like?
Just incredible. The one where we beat Villa, where we came back 2-0 down, 3-2.
So really, I don't give a shit about any of this because I'm not a Champions League fan. What I want to know is more about what his process of actually photographing.
His head off.
But we'll finish watching this video and then we'll move on to a video that talks more about
and those are the very intimate
actual skills,
like books or things like that, to really give the behind-the-scenes flavour of it.
So there's some secrets kept behind.
Some secrets kept.
Don't see this light of social media.
Who is this? I don't know who these people are.
Fans are starting to arrive, so the next step is to capture the atmosphere.
The bus drives up to here. They walk down.
I'm sure that a lot people from overseas though are going to be like, "Oh, that's this guy and this guy from this team."
I've got a 24 and an 85 currently. Okay.
He's using a 24mm and 85, so he wants wide shots, both full frame, and then he wants 85 for portraits.
Just can be wide if I need to be, and be a bit closer if I need to be. It's kind of somewhere between. Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course.
I've got a cheat code. It's called the 2870.
There we go.
Great lens. That's actually the lens I'm going to be using today. The cheat code 28-70. I call mine Big Bertha. Big Bertha, aka Big Chungus. aka the thickest.
But before the players get here, I wanted to understand why this is all so important and why the content matters so much. And Tom said he knows just the fan to speak to. This is Andy, a die-hard fan with some of Tom's photos tattooed on his back.
When you told me, I was like, yeah, one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, man. And you can just
If you ever make a photo and video course, I'd invest. Just watch my content, man. Just watch my content on YouTube. Let me know what you want to learn. Right now, I'm giving out all my stuff for free.
A lot of emotion riding on that moment.
It's just a beautiful
What's the best affordable prime lens? The Nifty 50, the Plastic Fantastic.
moment.
The players are minutes away, the fans are all lined up. It's time to get in position for their arrival.
I like to come out and do fun stuff. I love it, and it kind of all gather really well here.
Still the Nifty 50. Yeah, the Nifty 50 is popular amongst every camera brand. So notice that all of these guys, look how low they are. Look at these guys are literally, this guy has his ass on the ground and this guy's definitely bending a knee, you know, and they always want, for sports athletes and like these kind of shots, like hero shots, they always want to be low pointing up so that they can like establish grandeur, epicness, you know, a true hero shot. So
Around the ground, there are plenty of fans I wanted to speak to, so I deployed something new for this series, the roaming mic.
wow. There's not enough memory to complete this operation. Camera 01. Skip. I don't know what that is.
I'm starting to realise why this is such a high-pressure job. There is so much passion for this club from all areas, and the content helps them feel more connected to the club they love. So missing a moment means letting those people down. With a couple of hours until kickoff, Tom wanted to show me a side of his job that people never see. City help kids in the community with disabilities play football, and Tom has thrown himself totally into it.
Out of all the stuff I've done at City, this will be the most important, I think.
So how connected do you feel to all that's going on right now?
I mean, I love this. Yeah, they're inspirational, you know, yeah, it always makes me emotional. Like, I love being around them. They're so friendly and just so fun. And I'm really glad that I can photograph a little bit of it and make that connection. And it's amazing, honestly. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Guys, everyone looking at me. That's it.
Next up, Tom's having a briefing with some of the team to go over what they need to capture.
That guy looks really young to be the lead photographer for such a big team.
With all of the things going on at City, Tom is part of a
Doesn't seem like a
who
big
capture
team.
every moment. Yesterday, they actually invited me down to shoot the Man City women's game and meet some of them. Up first, this is Isaac.
Now
Everybody looks young.
Got a monopod. Got my
Monopod. I don't know. You sports photographers. I don't know how many are in here today. Probably not that many. Usually you guys come out at night. You guys are so reluctant to use sticks. Always so reluctant to use sticks. Like, oh, but I gotta be on the go. Shut up, bro. Use sticks. How do I get more stable footage? Use sticks.
long old lens. I'm not even set up and they've almost scored. Where's my seat gone?
So football's my sport. I've grown up playing football.
You guys want to guess how much that lens that he's using costs?
Contract here.
Take a wild guess.
Because I messaged Tom.
Let's see. I can't see which lens that is. 50 grand? Nah. This one's probably 10 to 15.
Years ago.
If it's a 100 to 300, which it probably is, it looked like a zoom lens to me. Yeah, it's a zoom lens. So let's see. Sony, do they even make a 100 to 300? It doesn't look like that lens. It wasn't that lens. So let's see. 400. They kind of look like this one. Yeah, it looks like this one, doesn't it? Yeah, it's this one. Oh, easy. Cool 13K. Is that the lens, guys? Looks like it, right? It might not be, but just from looking at it, like, is it that serious? Yeah. Yeah, dude.
And I love it. Love it so much.
And the big story there is just reach out to people because you never
And look how many there are.
know where that'll take you,
100%,
right?
yeah.
Like,
So that
that's
lens
how I
doesn't
got
even
my
zoom. That's a
very good
constant 400.
Yeah, and what was it that then?
Look at this. They got 1, 2, 3 of them right here.
Progress those conversations.
His message must have been reasonably good. But no, I clicked straight on his profile and saw what he was doing. I've never seen anyone at that age shoot at that level.
And how do you deal with the pressure?
I think you just have to be ready for it. I think the pressure comes in like big stadiums and it's so loud, and it only kicks in then when you're like 90,000 people.
Some of these guys have, yeah, it's provided by the team. They have their own gear and
The
stuff.
most polite way possible.
But some photographers are freelancers. They have these lenses, man.
Tom's head. He's got a big scar on his forehead.
First day in Club World Cup, took a ball in the head.
I have a lens that's on my list that I'm going to own one day, the 100 to 300.
Hit me on the head.
That's about $11,000.
Oh, he's down.
We quickly dash around to the other side of the pitch to meet Deck, the women's team photographer.
Shoot!
All right, so they're standing by the net. So I want to stay away. I guess I'll move around to see, but most of these shots are over by the nets. So if I am shooting for a specific person, I want to be on the opponent's net, right? So that I can get more action if the action ever pops off on my side.
Grown really attached to this team.
Yeah?
We're really lucky that we've got one of the best jobs in the world. I remember my dad said when I got this role, he was just like, right, now the hard work begins.
Now the hard work begins. I couldn't have said it better myself, Deck. But now, without any further ado, it's time to take on the UEFA Champions League.
UEFA. What did that say? 28 millimeters. It looks about, yeah. For summer camp, this guy brought one of the world's rarest lenses. I forgot what it was. 70 millimeters. So this one didn't really, this video didn't talk shit about the photography. Look at all this stuff, man. 50 millimeters. So I'm going to be taking today with me a 70 to 200 on my R5 Mark II, and then the 20 to 70 on my R7. So I'm not going to have any wide lenses, and I'm only going to bring 2 bodies and 2 cameras. And then an action camera.
Buzzing. So we're sat with the Napoli fans right behind us, and they are obviously very loud right now.
Soccer's nuts, boys
But just before that, I got
and
a great
gals.
action shot.
Soccer's
I'm
nuts
gonna
over
definitely
there.
add some motion blur to it in Photoshop. I'm really excited to do that afterwards.
That photo looked like shit. After he added motion
They
blur,
actually just got
that shit looked like shit.
a corner. But just before that, I got a great action shot.
This one right here. This photo, brilliant.
That I'm gonna definitely
This photo, brilliant.
add some motion blur to it in Photoshop.
That photo, This fucking sucks.
Shop, I'm really excited to do that afterwards. But now it's a corner, so I'm just going to get back on the... No, I'm not, I missed it. It's too fast. What a save. Goalie Union, let's go.
We had the first action of the half, a foul right on the edge of the box, and Tom caught it perfectly.
How did he get that?
Who decides what is a good sports photo? Like, is it when they hit the ball, when they fall? It's subjective, just like art, man. Any art is subjective, right? So as long as you capture the person's emotion and then build like a narrative around the story, it could be anything, you know, because soccer over there is like super big, man. It's like incredibly emotional, and people like get into fist fight. It's like American football, but like on like high octane. You know what I mean? They care a lot about soccer over there. Football.
I don't even know what I was doing. This is so hard.
A red card? The foul that Tom captured ended up being a key point in
That doesn't matter though,
the
man.
game. A red
That
card
doesn't
for the
matter.
Napoli player. With everything going on, I completely missed it.
You didn't buy a camera not to shoot it, you know?
A lot of the time, like the lens is literally here, so like just being ready to change quickly. I want to get like action shots where they're like tackling, and I'm always like one pace behind.
Okay, that first half was tough.
We're going to switch locations, Tom just said. So we're on the same side, but now on the attacking end for City, hopefully, for a goal and a
That's true.
celebration tour.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you buy something because that's what it does. You know what I mean? You just, Antonio, you didn't just spend, what's up, Andrew? You didn't just spend 3-4 grand on a camera to like keep it locked away in a safe and preserve it and savor it. No, you bought it to create stuff with it, to use it, man. You know. Andrew, good morning, buddy. Preparing for a soccer game today. So I'm just watching some soccer content to see if I can get some inspiration and get some stuff front of mind. So when I'm in the, actually, I keep saying that I'm going to do this, but I keep forgetting. By the way, I am going to be live streaming the soccer game. So if you guys aren't following, please consider doing so that you guys can watch. I'll be live streaming it on TikTok. And depending on my signal, I hope that it goes well. I'll also try YouTube. So make sure you're following over there as well. So I'm going to message the woman, the friend. Hola. Buenos días. Confirmando. El partido. Hoy. Let's see what she says. She would have told me. She's a makeup artist. And I worked with her last year for a creative project that we did together. She's the one that did the makeup artist on the video on my Instagram for the clown makeup. And she does like makeup artists for like brides and events and stuff like that. Chester, what up, Chester? How many hours from now is the game? It's 10 o'clock my time. And the game starts, she said it was at 1:30. Es el 12 de abril. Yeah, 12, 1:30. So 10, 11, 12, 1. You might be asleep, bro. Yeah, so 3 to 4 hours from now. I did some light prep yesterday, so right now I'm just doing some like creative prep. Fuck, I'll be asleep. Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna try to make a YouTube video out of it, but we'll see. Yeah, it might not be that interesting, you know what I mean? I made myself a rig so that, can I show it to you guys? I think I can actually. I made myself a little rig, you guys, so that I can swap this onto my other camera. So this is kind of what it looks like. And here my cell phone is going to go. And then you guys are going to see a direct view of my screen as this is on a monopod. So as I'm panning and trying to track players, the camera, the phone will stay fixed to this camera back screen, and I'll be able to like you guys will see a cool perspective. And then I'll switch that perspective from time to time. I'll strap you guys to my chest. You know, do a couple of other things, stuff like that. Switch it up.
Four does. That's what we're looking for.
Fingers crossed.
Let's go. I've got 33 on. I'm feeling lucky.
The issue is every time you move,
The salon
you're
guy, what's
fighting
up, bro?
with
Happy
30+
Sunday.
other photographers who are trying to do the exact same thing.
Second half spot has been secured.
Feeling the tension at the moment.
All right, bro. Be good, man. I might be back later on with like an editing live. 8 p.m. my time.
The second half was going a lot like the first, but you've always got to be ready.
There we go.
Oh, did you get it? Did you get it?
I got it.
I fucking missed it.
That's right. Titi finally scored and I missed it.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Okay, let's look at this. I got caught in between swapping cameras right as the goal went in. And now there might not be another opportunity to capture a goal. It's looking like it might just
That's
be
why
one of
you
those
gotta
games.
that's why you gotta
Live
get
sport.
the
You just never know what's about to happen.
right
next.
lens, man. And like lens indecision is like a real fucking thing too. Like if you get caught switching lenses, you know, it's one of the reasons why I love my 28-70 because it prohibits me from like switching lenses, and also why I don't take a lot of gear with me. Just take what you need, you know, don't overpack because you're gonna be like constantly thinking in the back of your mind. It's like, oh, I could do a 15 here. Oh, I need the 50 millimeter here. Oh, you know what? I need the 200, and then you're gonna be stuck in that like, stuck in that mindset, and you might miss an opportunity that won't come back. You know, that won't come around again. Do you think these guys are all competing or are all getting paid the same? So the way that, you know, from my understanding, the way that sports photographers, when they work for professional teams, the team only hands out X amount of media passes. So they have to hand out for their own sports team select media passes, and then they also have to allow media passes for news broadcasters and stuff. So most of them work for either the team or they work for a publication or a news outlet. Are these guys Canon, Nikon, or Sony users? It looks like everybody here is Sony. I haven't seen any Canon or Nikon.
I got it. I got that one.
So that's a good tidbit right there. Try to mix in, depending on how many people are in the crowd, grab photos of parents. Oh, and I gotta find my dot card. Because anytime that people see you out with your gear, I was talking about this last night. People are always going to ask you for your information or how they can get those photos.
Matches can provide
Do you think Sony is the best? No, Canon is the
with,
best.
like magic moments, you know. You just need to be on it all the time, really. Yeah, I do always feel the pressure, but that makes it, when you get it right, all the more worth it. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a massive stadium, seeing really amazing football, watching Haaland, can get much better.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I got it. That's good news.
That'll do.
There's about 10 minutes left.
Why do 90% of these guys use Sony? Usually organizations will be sponsored by a brand, and they will provide the not provide the cameras, but they'll all use the same camera if they're within the same organization. So like if this sports team has a contract or an advertisement deal with Sony, they'll be like incentivized, hey, here's our gear at a discounted rate. Make sure all your photographers use Sony. And then within that organization, they have other people that like work. So there's a lead photographer, and then there's like 10 other photographers. They want all of their images to match and have like a cohesiveness. So everybody's going to be using the exact same gear, the exact same lenses, the exact same settings, and everything has to be equal. Now you go into another publication, like say for example, ESPN is over there. ESPN might have a contract with Nikon or with Canon or something, and then the same thing is true with them, because they want all of their photographers, if they're within an organization, to be running the same kind of stuff.
I was had a water break. Just got a little bit of extra content for Instagram.
Also, regionally, things change. So, like in LA, just using an example, in LA or the West Coast, there might be a group of creatives just tangentially all using like Canons or Sonys or whatever they may be. And then you go over to like New York, and that New York area, everybody's using Sony or Fuji. And then you go down to Florida and they're using something else. So it's kind of like little ecosystems, right? So this gear is all the team's gear, like the cameras aren't personally owned. If they're working for the team,
So
yeah.
if you haven't seen that, check it out. We're then going to head around and we'll hopefully get some shots of the players as they're coming off.
There's a picture.
It looks like this guy is using his own gear though. He might not be using his own lenses, but you see these Peak Design straps right here? This is all personalized to him. So, and this guy's a Sony ambassador or whatever. So,
Mate, that was sick. What? Wow. I mean, that was way harder than I thought it was, and I think
all right, this SD card is good. Is it good? Insta360, where is it? Is it here? Insta360 X5. Did it transfer over? Yeah, it's here. All right, cool. I think I got all this content already loaded up. So let us format this card. Formatting is always the scariest, man. Format. Even though I've been doing this for 6 years, formatting always freaks me the fuck out. This drive is in use. Another program. You want to format it? No. Try again. Format complete. Okay. Close. And now eject. All right. So all my SDs are formatted. That was the biggest thing that I needed to do today, and then do some research. So this is the Insta360, the X5, probably one of the best cameras that I've used in a long time in terms of like action cameras. These things are fucking sick, dude. 6 hours of record time, 100% battery. So we are live. I also was probably thinking about using, I bought the mics for the Insta360, but I never even used it. These are the mics for the Insta360s. I'll open it here and see if it's any good. But one thing at a time, gotta focus on this. Confirmation for the soccer game is on. So let me throw in a little soccer ball. And so she confirmed. So it's at 1 o'clock. Cool.
Initially, my first reaction is like, I wasn't.
I love those random videographers that use old stuff but get buck. This one girl uses Pentax 6.7. How long should I hold on to client work before erasing? I usually hold on to it for like a year or so. But truthfully, I've never erased any of my client work because I have a NAS.
Enough, like I wasn't quick enough anticipating. Legsy, how'd it go? Come and join us, we're just discussing it. Camera's here.
Oh, we're on video.
How was it?
It was really good. I got a nice soft and sunny at the end.
Nice shot, look at that.
Awesome.
How was it for you?
Amazing. Who invited this guy along? So now we have finished. I've got about
The next
3,000
video we're gonna watch. I've never seen any of these videos, by the way. So this one was, I don't want to say it was a waste of time. It was.
Look through.
I picked up some things. What did I pick up? Think about the background. Grab photos of parents. Yeah, so 2 things I picked up.
Just had to edit.
Oh, and then buy a $14,000 lens.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Usually on a match night, Tom wouldn't be doing the editing. He explained earlier to me how it works.
When the match is happening, you're going to be shooting. How is that then going straight to an editor?
So we have dongles or we have wires, depending on the connection in the stadium. So we have wire ports in here.
So a lot of people are shooting JPEGs and they're shooting live shots. So they're connected and tethered into a network. And as soon as they take the photograph is shot in JPEG and it immediately gets sent out to their media team in real time.
Basically, you'll shoot. You have a 1-button click, FTP, so it sends it off into the FTP and it'll hit the editor straight away. So all being well on the connection, I should be able to take a picture and within 4 seconds, it should be able to be with the editor.
Mad.
So they're also on Lightroom, so they turn them around really quickly.
So obviously, we just shot the game. I've got some incredible photos, and I'm going to pull some of my favorite art.
And that's where you buy cameras that are like, $7,000. You know what I mean? I need to set up my FTP server. Yeah, don't you need to be tethered in for that though? Can you do it wirelessly? I feel wirelessly would be a nightmare, don't you think? Next thing I'm going to need is a new MacBook. I have a nice Mac Mini for home, but laptop is from 2020. It's slow and yeah, exactly. So these guys are all hardwired in, and if they're not hardwired in, they have like little, I don't know the right word, but they're like modems, right? Like little things, like little packs that are on their backs that they plug in that like strengthens the signal. But I see people hardwired in, you know what I mean? And then wherever they are, they have little stations that sends out the signal.
Now, I'm going to go into Lightroom, and then I will also bring some into Photoshop to create some motion blur. So I'm really excited to get edited.
His motion blur
Photoshop
sucked.
has made this very easy. You go select subject, and that literally picks out the players perfectly. You then invert it, which then invert selection. That brings that whole thing. And then what you do is you go to filter, you go to blur, go to motion blur, and then
That shit sucks.
the amount of motion blur in the background. Perfect. That's made it way better. I feel like the movement.
No, it
really
hasn't.
something.
That
And
shit
something else
sucks, dude.
brings that whole thing.
If I were gonna do motion blur like that, I would dial it at like under 10%. Unless it seems that he just threw on a. Yeah, most of the time they have a preset. Yeah, for sure.
What you do is you
There's
go
nothing
to
wrong with
filter,
presets.
You go to blur, go to motion blur, and then you can change the
What
amount.
did he keep it at? If he kept it at 100, no. Angle, distance. I'll have to
motion
look
blur
at
in the
that.
background.
33%. So this is 33%. That shit looks like fucking trash.
Perfect. That's made it way better.
It
I feel like
didn't.
the movement really adds something. And something else
It
you mentioned
doesn't.
to me was then making GIFs out of these. Obviously, you're shooting like literally hundreds and hundreds of shots in a few seconds. You can create some
GIFs are
cool
cool.
GIFs. How do you do that?
So
Stills, it's not only about the camera, it's about how it's been edited later. Most people just see others using expensive cameras without knowing that after they find something taking better photos from a phone. Photos will never take better photos than a actual camera.
I do it in Premiere Pro. This is a good example. So there's 180 photos of Pep celebrating Yacht United a few years ago here. That is of 180 pictures rolling through as he slowly moves towards camera.
Ain't that wild? 180 pictures taken for that
Jumps,
GIF.
goes
Pretty cool, though.
basically mental, which is exactly what we want. And that's something I want to do a bit more of. Try and go back to those big moments because we back up everything.
Mate, so that is it now for this evening. Thank you again so much.
I could do without the motion blur edit.
Yeah, amazing. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad you could
I
see
would
us
be
win.
in the single
Get
digits
the
if I
full
added motion
Etihad
blur.
experience.
I don't know. Less is more. Less is more in my opinion, but everybody has their own unique creative style, and because of that, we all can form our own independent opinion, right? My own independent opinion on the motion blur that's added at 33% is dog shit. And that's okay. That's okay, right? That can be my opinion, and that's totally fine.
I'm really glad.
Well, mate, thank you again to yourself and to Man City for having us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Amazing.
Thanks so much.
Make sure you come back.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be the end of your sports stuff, so
No.
come back and do more. It'd be
100%.
great.
That shit doesn't miss, dude.
So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching.
I learned the hard way. LOL, I guess the only exception is older cameras like my 17 Pro Canon Rebel T5. It's even that, bro. It's just physics, man. It's just the size of the sensor. It's literally the size of the sensor, man. You can't compete with the size of a sensor that's available. So even on your Rebel T5 that has a much larger sensor, it just doesn't compete, right? So the more available light that comes into a sensor, regardless of the age of the camera, the higher quality the images is going to be, right? And then you have to pair that with the proper lens. So like a cell phone's rinky-dinky sensor is just physically unable to reproduce the same kind of image that a much larger sensor can, right? It's physically impossible. Can cell phones take great photos? Yes, but that wasn't really the question, right? The question is, can it take a better photo than a proper camera? And the answer is no. What's your first camera? My first camera was a cell phone, actually. A cell phone. And then I made enough money with my cell phone doing photography, product photography, that I bought a Canon M50. That's true. I think that my cell phone, I don't think so. Most cell phones have the smaller one. It could be, but these are usually for like smaller action cameras. Even the 1-inch sensor, those are brand new sensors that just came into play for action cameras. All right, so we watched this video. Is there anything
here?
here?
With Manchester City shooting a UEFA Champions League game. Just saying that out loud is mad. My first time, like, absolutely buzzing, unbelievable.
So let's go to another video. Football photography, pitch side do's and don'ts. 2.5K views. Photographer soccer football tips and tricks, 4K views. Let's see. How to take better football photos. Oh, that's for football. Ten tips and tricks for filming soccer like a professional behind the scenes. 15K views. That's filming, though. We're not going to do filming. How to use the Canon EOS R6 III for sports. That'd be a fun video to watch. So let's go back up here. The tips and tricks. Soccer photography in 2025. I think this one would be fine. Let's watch both of these here. Let's watch this one.
When you're new to sports,
it's super new. Apple has been marketing heavily that their sensor is bigger now. Yeah, I just don't know which sensor they have. Even phones that were marketed with a 1-inch sensor are BS because it's just marketing buzz. As an iPhone user, even still, iPhone ain't beating a camera. Yeah, it's just physically impossible, man. It has physical limitations. It's not an argument. You know what I mean? It's a weird argument to have. Like if you are passionately saying like, oh, my cell phone camera it's weird. It's a weird argument. Like it's just physically impossible.
photography, it can be a little bit intimidating turning up to events or games and knowing exactly what to do and what not to do. And also, seasoned professional photographers often get things wrong and don't have the best reputation as a result of doing so. Therefore, I just wanted to share some of my tips in terms of etiquette and tips for how to behave around a football stadium on a match day when you are shooting pitchside football photography. Here goes with those tips. Number one is something most people wouldn't dream of doing anyway, but I have seen it done multiple times, and I've seen club staff absolutely raging with
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know if I want etiquette
or other staff at the club, and that is going on the pitch without asking if you're allowed to. Now, some stadia down in the Football League level I shoot at, and certainly when you get low levels beneath that, will allow at certain times photographers to go onto the pitch. Now that might be when teams are coming out at the start of the game. You might be allowed out onto the pitch 10, 15 yards ahead to capture them coming out. You might be allowed to photograph the handshakes in the centre circle. If you win the game, you might be allowed on the pitch at the end to photograph, if you're club staff certainly, to photograph celebrations up close. What
this is all about etiquette.
Is to go onto the pitch without permission.
I don't want to learn.
Should always ask. I have in the last 2 seasons seen a lot of.
Keep your cool. This is just don't be a dick.
Let's say.
I don't want to watch a video about not being a dick. As an iPhone user, even yeah, it ain't beating one, but I've gotten my clients thousands of views from gigs from it. Yeah, that's also not in question either. That's not the question either, Antonio.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jack. I'm your friendly neighborhood sports photographer and videographer.
What's up, Jack?
This evening, I am photographing a local high school varsity soccer match, and it's going to be posted on maxreps.com, which is pretty popular in my area. All the players know it. And anyway, I'll hopefully get some sales out of it. That's the goal anyway. For this video, I'm going to teach you everything there is to know about photographing soccer.
Thank you, Jack.
The way I like to do it. I'm going to tell you what kind of gear I use. I'm going to tell you positioning, settings.
Positioning is really what I want to learn about.
As the game progresses, I'll chime in every once in a while and give you little nuggets of information as we go along. All right? With that, let's photograph some soccer.
How old is this video?
Now, if my goal is to
3 months ago.
Photograph as many players as possible and get as many into the gallery.
Photograph as many players as possible. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Photograph as many. I'll call these like highlight athletes. Highlight athletes. My number one highlight athlete is going to be the son of the person that invited me to take these photos, right? And then grab a couple more of the home team, so that I can potentially share them. And what I'll do is after I do the edit, I'll send them all off to the person that invited me so that she can share it amongst the other moms. Yeah.
Gallery as possible to hopefully sell as many photos as possible, including players who rarely get any time on the field. Then warm-ups are the best time to do that. I'm not doing it right now because I'm shooting this video, but normally I'd be photographing any player out there and catching as many of the players as I possibly can, because some of these players are just not going to get any playing time or very little, perhaps at the very end. So if I can catch them during warm-ups, that's what I normally do. Speaking of warm-ups, the best time to get a goalie is during warm-ups. It's very hard to catch goalies in action during the actual game. You might get a few opportunities, but usually not a lot.
That checks out, because if the team is good, they might not have a lot of defense. Capture the goalie.
You're not going to have a bunch of players running in front of you getting in the way. So really, during warm-ups is the best time to catch the goalie while they're doing warm-ups. Go stand in the middle of the field, like at the 50-yard line, shooting back toward them, and you have actually a pretty good chance of catching them and isolating the goalie while they're doing warm-ups. It's also a great time to catch the goalies who are not the starters, because that's when they'll be doing out on the field actually practicing. In fact, sometimes if I'm not familiar with the team, I'm not sure which one is the starter, which one isn't the starter, just because of the way they're practicing. So it's a good time to catch both goalies, both the starter and the alternate, if you want to try to include both in your gallery. All right, on the left here, I got
Nikon.
a Z9
Okay.
and a 120 to 300 f2.8. This is probably going to get the most work tonight, based on where I'm
Z9.
positioning myself here behind.
I think that's a $7,000 camera. $5,000. Is there a Nikon Z9 II though? There might be. I don't know my Nikons too well. Cool 5,000. Oh, it's $900 off. Okay. So what would that be? Almost 6,000. Yeah.
the goal. And then over here I have my
And the
Z8,
Z8. Yeah.
with a 400 2.8.
Jesus.
And that'll get a little bit of work on the far end, but beyond what the 300 can reach. But really, this 120 to 300 is very versatile, and that's going to get the most of the work tonight.
Checks out.
Probably the other big key piece of equipment is going to be this chair right here. I like to shoot behind the goal, and so sitting over here in the corner, I really prefer
Behind the goal. Phones are good. No one is denying that, but can acknowledge from a technical. Yep, 100%.
Sitting right here on that chair right there and catching all the action in front of me as the players come in to shoot on the goal.
I did buy myself a little stool.
I like to be behind the goal. I don't know, about 20 yards off of the flag on the corner. And basically, I'm trying to catch all the offenses coming in. I also catch the defense that's defending at that time. Between the 400 and the 120 to 300, I could get probably about 40 yards out. Midfield is probably a little too far even with a pretty significant crop. You're probably going too far with the crop. The downside here
He's using the DJI Pocket.
Here is all the
film
action
himself.
on the far end of the field.
You guys see the shadow right here? This is the little DJI Pocket 3.
Get any of it. So I'm really hoping to catch all the offense with their faces pointed toward me as they came.
Are you a fan of soccer, or they're like, I'm going here to get photos, but I don't? I am not a fan of soccer. The only soccer that I like is World Cup soccer. But never really paid much attention to soccer. But I'm going there with the intention of creating a YouTube video, capturing some content for a YouTube video that I'm thinking about doing, and also to live stream, and also to see if I can improve my skills in sports photography. I've never shot organized sports. I've only shot sports like me as a spectator walking past the game, but I've never actually sat and participated in an entire soccer game as a photographer. So I'm hoping that I can pick up some tips and tricks, some skills, and then I can just learn from the experience.
To shoot on goal. And hopefully some good defensive action. Then when they switch goals at the halftime, I'll get the other team offense and this team's defense. As far as settings, I recommend shooting at 1/1000th of a second, your aperture wide open, and you let the ISO float on auto. If you've got one of the more high-end, semi-professional, professional cameras, they usually handle the noise pretty well. Nothing's perfect, of course. I prefer shooting a RAW and then processing in DxO Pure RAW 5. That's my preference. I think it works excellent, and I've tried them all, or at least 90% of the products in the market right now, and I can tell you that Pure Raw 5 is the best when it comes to noise reduction with raw images. You can't shoot JPEG with in-camera noise reduction, but that seems to work better on full-frame cameras that have lower megapixels, like in the 20, 25 megapixel range. Once you start getting to the high megapixel cameras, they tend to have more noise, like the Z8, the Z9 from Nikon, and you really need a good software to clean up that noise. So,
checks
if
out.
you're going to shoot at night, I highly recommend shooting RAW and using a good
Which is
noise
why the
reduction.
Sony FX3 and these lower megapixel sensors, camera sensors, are always great in low light, is because they have massive photo sites. Photo sites. Does everybody remember that lesson that we talked about? Is shot by Henner, is that 17 to 40 good enough for filming quinceañera weddings? Hell yeah, dude. If you haven't, can you show what camera devices you use to display your live channel? I'm using the Sony ZV-E10 II for TikTok, and then for YouTube, I'm filming on a R50. R50. Yeah, the photo sites. So, like, the photo sites, if you think of them as like buckets, you know, photo sites are what captures the light. So, in this analogy, the buckets are the photo sites, and the light is like the water essentially going into a bucket. So, when you have large sensors with low, each of these squares represents a megapixel, and each megapixel represents a million photo sites, right? Those are the little buckets that are capturing light. When you have smaller megapixels on your sensor, or less megapixels on your sensor, the photo sites have more room to capture more light. Versus you have a full frame sensor with a bunch of megapixels, that's millions of more photo sites. The photo sites are smaller and they capture less light. Less light means more noise. And the reason why on larger sensors that's big is because you can see this right here is just a representation of the buckets, right? So it's something for you guys to kind of consider.
Software, 1/1000th of a second, aperture.
Show me your 17 to 40. I don't have it here. I think I left it in the studio last night.
Wide open, auto ISO.
It looks just like any other 17 to 40.
All right, they're about to start the game, and what they do when they start the game is they introduce the starting players. So let's go out to the middle of the field and catch those players as they get introduced and run out to the middle of the field.
Player introduction. So I wonder if there's going to be player introduction. The reason why I'm writing these down is because I have a habit of, I say things in my mind internally, but it goes in and goes right out, right? But I have a little bit more, personally, I retain more information longer if I actually write them down. I'm not going to be taking this notebook with me and like looking at it on the field and reviewing these notes, but it's just a habit. And writing things, physically writing things down works better for me. Some people like to type things out, but for me, typing them out doesn't really retain that much info. Who the fuck is this guy? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? This guy right here, he looks like he's about 16, 18. Same with this guy. This guy looks like he's fucking 45. Are you guys seeing this? Andrew, are you in here? Julia, what's going on in this image right here? This guy looks like my uncle right here. What's going on? He has like a full-on mustache and shit. That's a weird. Yeah, everybody here looks young. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that guy. I switched to YouTube. Maybe he's the coach. He was in the middle of the action, though. Let's see if we can find him again. Look at that. He's wearing a jersey. Maybe he's maybe he's not aging like fine wine like the others. Right. Everybody else looks like they're high schoolers, you know?
All right, we got a little break in the action, so I'm going to talk real quick. Let's talk about white balance. White balance for me is on these games, on these fields, is generally, I just set it on auto. On my Nikon cameras, these models, you could set it auto, keep whites white. So that's what I basically set it on.
Prioritize
And
white,
again,
yeah.
I'm shooting raw, so if it's a little off, generally you can fix it, unless it's just absolutely horrible, but generally you could fix it in post-production in say Lightroom or Lightroom Classic that I normally use. I know there's a lot of tools out there you can use and they work to a certain extent, but I would say unless the light is consistent at the field you're at, and some fields are not consistent. There's different colorations, different lights all around the field with, that'll really throw your white balance off. But as long as it's consistent, yeah, those tools. But
Auto
in
white
general,
balance in modern cameras,
you gotta
especially
move-
outdoors, is plenty advanced enough to like. And again, what he's saying is true. If you shoot in RAW, unless it's a massive color shift, you're gonna be able to bring that back in post.
field with good LED lights.
I'm gonna be shooting in
I would
RAW,
say auto white balance is the way to go, and that's what I would start with.
and I'm using modern cameras. So.
All right, I got another break here real quick. So as far as settings are concerned, again, I'm using Nikon mirrorless cameras. So what I normally do is set the face tracking, which is very good on the Nikon 6.
Face tracking, yep.
Z6.
I should actually check my settings. By the way, I'm going to be going live later on, guys. I don't know if I mentioned it, so make sure that you're following. If you're interested in watching me shoot sports photography for the first time. AF servo, yes. Auto tracking, we'll go to all. Subject tracking on. Subject to detect people. The one thing is I'll probably mess around with some of the eye detection. Got it. The R5 is going to be a monster camera. Hello. What's up, Rooters? We're going to be shooting some soccer. Oh, you're over in Portugal, man. Have you ever shot soccer before? I might mess around with the use cases of the servo autofocus. So, versatile multi-purpose setting. Continue to track subjects, ignoring possible obstacles. Instantly focus on subjects suddenly entering autofocus. Don't want that. For subjects that accelerate and decelerate quickly. So I might switch over to that. We'll see. We'll play around. And one shot autofocus release. Yep. All this is good. Manual focus peaking. All that's good. All right, cool. So that camera's set. Let's check the R5. Brazil, basically, actually in amateur. Oh, I thought you were in Portugal. You're Brazil? My bad. I thought you were in Europe. Well, I guess the thing still counts, right? Soccer. Brazil is like change battery? What the fuck? I thought this was at 100%. There it is. Okay, that was weird. All right, so let's go to menu, photo, autofocus, servo. Let's switch this to area. Whole area servo on. Subject to detect auto. We'll go to people. Eye detection auto, register people priority. This has different use cases. Case special. Characteristics suitable for shooting through nets. So I'll just set this to auto. Autofocus has gotten so good. Ever filmed a documentary? I have not. That'd be cool. I'd like to film a documentary of I don't know what I'd film it on. I might make a documentary one day. Now that I have the camera that I would be using. Manual peaking, focus guide on, lens registered. Yeah, everything's good here. Yeah, so these cameras are set. These cameras are set. Oh, the other. I want to get another, the spider crab. Also, I'm going to be using the iFootage spider crabs to mount the camera. So I'm going to have you guys uh, being able to watch me because I'm going to put the cell phone here so you guys will be able to see the back of the screen. And I have a bunch of these spider crabs that are really nice for this kind of stuff. They're super mm, stiff. What do I want to say? Like they can bear a lot of weight.
3, Nikon Z8, Z9. Can't speak for all the other
My
ones,
homie's
but
an
those three
artist
I
with
know are
some
very
big
good.
names recently talking with Disney and Apple. Nice, man.
I set the face tracking.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And I like to use wide area small when I'm shooting sports like this, where
Wide area
you got a lot
small.
of different players
Interesting.
and you're trying to track one particular player.
Ah.
There's no players on the field except that one. I mean, you could go with 3D. You could use the entire frame basically. But for me, again, with a lot of players on that field, I like to
That
use,
makes sense.
The wide area small.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll probably change my autofocus area to spot or like expanded.
If you can't afford the big lenses, which let's face it, most people can't, or you're not a professional, you're just doing this for fun, that's fine. But I do recommend you get at least like a 70-200 f2.8. And the reason being is,
How many times have I said that to you guys? How many times have I said the 70-200 is the one? Any telephoto for APS-C you can recommend? For what camera? There is the Women's World Cup here in Brazil. That'd be sick, dude. The ZVE10. Check out the 70-180, man. The Tamron. Every live, probably. Yeah, 70-200. This year, Philadelphia is getting a couple of World Cup games, so I'm not going to photograph the World Cup, but that'd be fucking sick, right?
it's not going to be able to reach that far out on the field, but at least you'll have an f2.8 lens, and it's a very versatile lens. You can use it for all sorts of sporting events, especially indoor sports.
Mm-hmm.
But your position is going to have to be different. You know, I'm parked back there
Yep.
next to the goal because, frankly, I've got the room to do it with the range of the lenses that I have. But with the 70-200, you're probably not going to have that. So what I recommend instead is you shoot.
You should reach out and see if you can tag along with these people. Yeah, for sure. For sure. 70-180, nice if you get the 17-40 as well. And 40-70. Yeah, I would do the 70-180. That's probably, if you're looking for something budget, is what I would look at.
Shoot from around the 50-yard line. So hang around the 50-yard line, which is roughly where the teams sit, and shoot in both directions, going both ways. You know, you're going to have to wait until they come close and they're near you, but that's just the name of the game until you can, get yourself a longer lens, and hopefully that's at f2.8. My recommendation to you is go for used. My first 300 f2.8 was used, and it was a 20-year-old lens, 25-year-old lens. Luckily still worked on my cameras. For field sports, you really need at least a 300, and to shoot at night, you really need.
For field sports, you need at least a 300. Solid.
Need a 2.8. So look on the used market for a used, say 300 2.8, 400 2.8 that'll fit your camera. Hey, while they're at the other side of the field, real quick, I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about settings is the importance of flicker reduction. You know, in more modern lit fields, it's not a big deal. You won't see it as often, but especially in older fields, older lighting systems, what you'll sometimes see is the lights actually oscillating in their light intensity and color. And if you don't have flicker reduction turned on, what you'll often see is
I was asking, is there any lens in the range between 40 and 70? Um, 24 to 70.
like darker areas in your image, or they're a different color, or something along those lines. And it doesn't look good, and it's very, very hard to edit out. So if your camera has flicker reduction, I would highly recommend you turn it on, leave it on. It doesn't do anything during the day. You'll see some of the old guys, old photographers will claim that it reduces the frame rate.
I
on
was
their
looking at the 100 to
camera or
400.
their focusing speed. I have never experienced that, especially in more modern cameras. So don't worry about it. Turn on flicker reduction. I have mine on all the time, and it doesn't do anything during the day, and it really only operates when it needs to. So turn it on. All right, well, the game is over. What does that mean now is that I'm going to head home, and I'm going to cull all the photos, get them down to a reasonable number, and then I'm going to process them through DxO Pure RAW 5.
Oh, cool.
And
He
then
so
I'm
he
gonna
goes through a
edit
whole
them
editing thing.
in
Cool.
Lightroom Classic, which is my preferred. All right, that's it. Let's get going and look at some photos. All right, everybody, back before a computer. It's been about a day or so, which is why I have a haircut. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk you through basically how I cull, go from 3,000 images down to a gallery that's going to have about 100 images total on it. Then I'm going to, so culling first, and then we'll talk about how to edit the photos, including noise reduction and a couple different methodologies that I use to do that. So let's get into it right now.
Rumors say that Sony
the first
discontinued
thing
the
I do
100 400 because
is
it
I
will come
pull
with a
up a
Mark II
program
being f4.
called Photo Mechanics.
That lens
and
is probably going to be
Photo
crazy
Mechanics'
expensive.
claim to fame, well, it does several things, but mostly I use it for culling because it renders photos, even RAWs, extremely fast. And as I go through this real quick, I'm just going to tag a few of them because there's 3,000 images right here. I'm only going to tag a few. And as we go through it,
I like
I'll
culling
identify
photos.
some potential problems that I try to avoid when I'm looking for good composition in soccer photos, and things I think I like and I think look good. So let's get rolling here. And the way I do this is basically I use the letter T. T is for tag. So that actually puts a little check marks on the image. Then you could identify all those later on. When you hit T, it tags it. And then if you don't want that particular image, you hit the right arrow. Let's move. Okay, this first image, obviously, they're not facing toward me, so that's no good. So let's just go through these real quick.
Be able to finish this
right
video
arrow.
with you guys.
This one's not bad.
I got 10 more minutes and then I got to bounce because I got
zoom in
to eat breakfast and
look at it more carefully
and get a couple more
Some
things
people
ready.
will go through this and they will zoom in and they will be very picky.
Miss Emerald, what's up, Miss Emerald? How are you?
Here in Photo Mechanics.
And
I
people
tend
on
to wait
YouTube,
until
hello.
After I've done noise reduction.
For those of you guys that are over on YouTube, I'm going to be going live or right around 1 o'clock my time. 1 o'clock, I think. 1:30 actually. And I'm going to be going live on TikTok. So you guys get to see a behind the scenes of Nos vemos en un rato. Yeah, it's going to be at what time? 1:30 p.m. 1:30 Eastern time, New York time. And you guys are going to be able to see the live of a BTS of me photographing a soccer game. It's a middle school soccer game, so I'm not expecting fireworks and all this stuff. But I will be walking through my process and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to follow over on TikTok if you'd like to see the BTS of that.
And in Lightroom, zoom in and get really particular because I figure once noise reduction's done, then I really know for sure how sharp it is. When it's still a little noisy like this, it's hard to see. So I tend to not do it that way, but it's a personal preference. So basically, I'm just looking for photos that appear at least at first glance, to be sharp, and then I'll
Right now, what I'm
keep more
doing
thinking
is
about it.
instead of just watching him like edit the photo, what I'm paying attention to really is where the photographer, is positioned on the field. So right here, this looks like he's at the edge because this square right here looks like the goalie box. So it looks like he's right next to the goalie, the net, and he's shooting downfield. So that tidbit of information to me is like really important because I want to position myself in that general area because people are going to be coming towards the goal. So I'm keeping that in mind. That's where I'm going to be. And I'm using a 70 to 200, which means that I don't have that super long range that he has. He has like a 300 millimeter and a 400 millimeter. I do have a high megapixel camera, so I might be able to cheat a little bit and crop in post
Later. All right, so this one's not bad. So we'll give it a T, and we'll progress. A couple of these are pretty good.
Yeah, in
As
the
I go
corners,
through a
exactly.
series, I might pick of several of them because I'm not zooming in super tight.
Oh, there's that 40-year-old guy. There he is again.
So, I may tag few that are not quite right. But like I say, until I got the noise reduction on them, you can't really tell how sharp they are, like one frame to another. So that's why I tend to wait till after they've had noise reduction on it. This is pretty good. You got the main focus here is the player in
ball's in
white.
the
You got the
frame.
ball. You can see other players.
Mhm.
Composition wise, I think I'll be able to do something with this. And moving along. So let's talk about photos that aren't good. I have the goalkeeper. He's faced away from me. He at first glance he looks sharp, but since he's faced away from me, I'm not really interested in this image. Let's keep progressing here and see how
How many times have I said that? God damn it.
far what it gets. Now he's
The
turning
backs of people's heads are not as interesting as you guys think they are.
toward me. Now we're starting to get good. So I'll probably tag this series, see which one's the sharpest. And I'll probably crop in right on top of him. Now we got another player coming in from the right, so that adds a new dynamic and new action. And I'll probably grab all of
Nice,
these
look at that.
just in case one is sharper than the other.
Ugh.
So that was a pretty good series right there. And I'm sure
Yeah, it
there's
was.
probably 1, 2, maybe even 3 out of there that are
Mhm.
nice and sharp. All right, here's another item that comes up in soccer is they tend to look down at the ball.
Okay.
And I will go through a series, which I'm doing right now, and I'll wait till the heads are up and I can start seeing eyes because the top of the head's not interesting. So this one looks at first glance,
Top of the head is just not that interesting.
it's not bad.
I'm not making this shit up, boys and girls.
And I'll grab several of these just in case. All right. So once I've got I've gone through the entire group and I've tagged the ones that I like. I go up here to edit, select tagged. And all the ones I tagged are going to be highlighted yellow,
Mhm.
like this, like that. Then go over to File, Copy, Move Photos. You can move photos and delete the originals, and you would copy to a particular folder, go find that folder, and copy them over. You don't have to delete the originals. You can leave the originals, but like I say, that's an option. Okay, once that's done, I moved it to a location I could find from Lightroom, and then I start to edit. So let's go do that. All right, real quick, I'll show you how I edit the photos and use DXL Pure Raw 5 to do my noise reduction. All right, so this is
This doesn't even need a lot of noise
completely
reduction.
clean image. I haven't done anything with it. I zoom in on it, looks pretty sharp, and I zoom into 100% to actually check sharpness. And what I'm looking for is sharpness in the face. And sometimes it's hard, especially at night, to really see the sharpness in the face. I might actually look at
We're gonna be shooting at 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's gonna be the sun is gonna be super high. So I'm making sure to bring ND filters, and my ND filters have some black mist diffusion on it, so they're gonna like kind of bloom the highlights if there are any, which I'm sure there will be.
hair and see how sharp the edges of the hair are. So that's what I usually look for. All right, so I'm not going to do any real editing on this to start with. I'm actually going to do noise reduction first. So this is This is all of Lightroom's, you know, standard base default settings. I haven't done anything.
All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. I got to go get
And
some
the reason-
breakfast and prep some more stuff. For everybody that's hanging out here, I appreciate you guys spending your morning with me, just prepping for this soccer game. I'm going to be live in a couple of hours over there. So if you're not following already or subscribed, make sure to do so. And I will catch you later on, you guys. Adios.